RE 2046. Okay, so this is the foundation for those having RE 2046. Okay, so now let us have the foundation of RE. So we'll handle the first topic, which is birth and the infants of John the Baptist and Jesus Christ. Okay, so the birth and the infant of John the Baptist and Jesus Christ. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the birth and the tradition customs. So I want you guys to understand what a custom is. So you're saying a custom is an activity, rule, or ceremony done by a particular group of people. Okay, of people as part of life. This is an activity, rule, or ceremony done by a particular group of people as part of life. That is what you call a custom. So a custom, as we mentioned, deals with an activity, a rule, or rather the ceremony that is being done by the group of people as part of life. It is just part of life as a ceremony. So now let's talk about an occasion now. What happens in the naming of a child? What are those customs and the traditions in naming of a child? Okay, so in naming of a child, the traditions and the customs, they are believed to name a child, naming of a child, it's done before birth. Others, their tradition, others, their tradition and custom is they just believe that you name a child before they are born, right? Okay, so that is it. That is the first customs and the traditions to others. Then others, they're saying is choosing the name which depends on what you call the circumstance. So others they depend on the circumstance. For instance, the Tonga name Chimuka. Okay, once they call you, they name you Chimuka, meaning Unachidubadwa like that. Then apart from that, Nzala, it simply means you were born in famine, in anger, just like that. You were born in anger, in famine, without food. Okay, so that is it. So it depends with the circumstances. Naming of a child, it depends with what? The circumstances. Okay, to others, customs and tradition. Apart from that, they are saying the baby is named after the umbilical cord is dropped out. Some traditions and customs, they believe that the naming of the child is done after you remove out what you call the umbilical cord, and also the umbilical cord is dropped out. Then apart from that, a child is being named after the relatives or the ancestors. Other traditions, they believe naming a child after their relatives, after their parents, after their ancestors, just from there. That is according to different customs and traditions. Okay, the first thing which I mentioned, it is naming a child before birth. Others, naming of a child before birth, naming a child, before what? Before birth. Okay, this is done to other tradition ceremonies, to other traditions and customs. Apart from that, we can say others. It depends with the naming. Naming depends with the what? The circumstance. E.g., Zala. Zala is a Tongan name meaning born in famine or anger. Okay. Chimuka meaning let coming to the earth, right? Okay. Then apart from that, they're saying the baby is named after the umbilical cord. Baby is named, an infant is named after the drop out of the what? Umbilical cord. Okay, so that is it. So now apart from that, let's now talk about the last one, where we say the child is named after the relatives or the ancestor. Okay, the child named after relatives or ancestor. Ancestors. Okay, just like that. Now let's talk about the protection that deals with the child. Okay, what are the major protection that a child should have? How can you protect the child once the child is born? How can you protect the baby? Okay, so protection of the baby or the child here is a part. So other traditions and customs, what are they? So they believe that after the birth of the mother and the child, after the birth, the mother and the child are secluded for a period of time for protection. So after the child is born, the mother is being kept for protection at the hospital, maybe for other than 5 hours for protection. Right? Okay, so after the birth, mother and the child are secluded for a period of time for protection. Okay, so they must be cared for like that. Apart from that, we are saying both husbands and wife should not be allowed to have sexual relation for the period of time. So the both husband and the wife should not have access to sexual relation after the birth of the child, because you know there is a painful part that is on the wife. So the both partners, they are not allowed to have or to share sexual relation for a period of time. Apart from that, the roots, charm, and also the traditional medicines are used for the protection of the child against the disease and also against witchcraft. So these are the things that you must get to understand, that the roots, the charms, and also the tradition medicine are used in protecting of the child against diseases, or rather against what? Witchcraft. Apart from that, it is that sacrifices of beer and food and prayers are offered uh, by the to the ancestral spirit. So you know, if a child is born at the church, you take some offering, you take some tithe. Okay, sometimes other traditions they take sacrifices like beer, food to their ancestral spirit in appreciation. Okay, so this is again, this is going in hand with the protection of a child. How do you protect the child? Okay, so this is the way on how people needs to protect the child. Number one, it is secluding the mother and the child for a period of time to allow protection. Okay, so that is it. So we are saying after birth, mother and child kept are kept for protection. Apart from that, both wife and husband are not allowed to have sexual relation.